What's up, dudes and dudettes? Loaf Meat bringing you Dark Souls once again to my Artorias build series. I can tell you exactly what we're going to do today. We're going to head into Darkroot Garden and maybe into Darkroot Base. And from there, we might find Havel. I'm going to fight this guy first. We're going to try to fight the Moonlight Butterfly, which is a boss, and then Havel the Rock, which is a kind of mini-boss NPC. Havel has an item on him that I want that increases my equip load, so I can fast roll with heavier armor. These Titanite demons here, they take quite a beating. I think they're pretty easy to dodge and deal with, but they got some pretty high defense and pretty high HP. So, oop, there I stunned them a little. Easy peasy. They do drop this rare demon Titanite, which is used to upgrade the boss weapons mostly. So it comes in handy pretty easily. So welcome to Darkroot Garden. Whenever we start playing the DLC, which I'm going to do in this playthrough as well, because that's how we get to actually fight Artorias himself and get his armor. I'm going to point out some things that indicate Darkroot Garden and Darkroot Basin are in fact Ulasil, which is what the DLC takes place in. These guys drop purple moss, which cures poison, which is going to come in which is going to come in handy greatly when we make it to Blighttown, which is just filled with poison, literally. Oh, I fucked that up. I thought he was going to come closer. I'm still in human form, and for a good reason. The Moonlight Butterfly is a bitch to fight without Beatrice, which is an NPC summon I could use. Beatrice, what makes it so hard is that the Moonlight Butterfly... Oh, surprise, there's a bonfire here. The Moonlight Butterfly does most of his attacks while in the air. So you can't really hit him unless you're using magic, magic, just long range stuff in general, so magic and arrows and stuff like that. This gate here, the item we need to unlock it is sold by Andre, which I think it costs 20,000 souls. Usually, I like to... This is an ambush. If you pick up that item, 3 of these guys pop up and get you. So I'm not going to do that. It's not even worth it. What was I saying originally? Oh, usually what I like to do is I fight the Bill Gargoyles, and then I come here and fight the Moonlight Butterfly. And then that gives me enough souls to buy the crest that I need to open up that gate. And on the other side of that gate are a bunch of NPC, really powerful, hostile NPCs. So it's a really, really, really great place to farm souls, and I'm going to be using that later off camera so I can jack up my stats and you don't have to watch me do that. So I usually do that because I know how to farm that area. I'm not doing it this time because I'm trying to play as if I were a sort of new player and kind of do things in order so you guys can see, like, this is how things are in this world. We're gonna actually fight this guy here. Stun and dead. That spell that he just cast, if you saw that ring that was around my body, it means that it's Tranquil Walk of Peace, which keeps me from rolling or running. So I can't even run at this speed, so I would be moving around at this speed and I wouldn't be able to roll. the elite armor, or the elite knight armor set is over there. I am going to go pick that up after the boss battle, so I don't have to deal with these dead guys. Alright, right here's Witch Beatrice. We're just moving right along. Super excited about that. Sup, dog? Alright, let's go. The Moonlight Butterfly's up here. And he's gonna get wrecked, thanks to Beatrice. And you can actually kind of see the Moonlight Butterfly from here. Watch it fly down. Fun fact about the Moonlight Butterfly is that it's actually a product of Seath's experimentation. So it's far away from home, that's for sure. The Duke's Archives is where Seath is hanging out. Whoop. And we actually get to see more Moonlight Butterflies as regular enemies later. They're non-hostile, which is fantastic because I don't know if I'd be able to handle it otherwise. Whoop. And now I'm just letting Beatrice do all the work, and you can see that this guy's almost already dead. Almost got him. Bam. Easy peasy if you got some help. If you don't have help, like I said, you either need range or you need to run around in circles until he lands. And you saw how much my upgraded sword was doing. Compared to what the damage Beatrice was doing, it wasn't shit. So that fight can take a long time if you don't have the help. The only thing up here, and I think I might use it, I might actually upgrade my Claymore to have a Divine Path. We get the Watchtower Tower basement key and the Divine Ember. So I might take the sword I'm using now down the Divine Path, and then the boss I fight in the depths I'll use an upgraded halberd on. I think that's how I want to do that. And then I'll just keep the halberd non-divine, or without special magic stuff on it. Usually it's not a great idea to upgrade your weapons using either magic or divine or fire stats or whatever upgrade paths, because then it splits damage. So enemies, I can explain that kind of easily. Enemies in this game have different levels of defense, okay? So they have physical defense, they have magical defense, and so on. If you have a weapon that deals physical and magic damage, those split damages have to go through those two different kinds of defense, and it ends up dealing less damage. And all weapons that are taken on a elemental upgrade path lose some scaling. So it's almost always better to keep a weapon unupgraded, or not unupgraded, but keep it from the elemental upgrade paths and just use the scaling, and you'll end up most of the time dealing more damage that way. Because the build I'm using through this run through is going to have stats in almost everything. I'm thinking it's going to be okay for me to, have a weapon for just about every occasion, and it's not going to really matter. You can kind of see these trees moving around. These are non-responding enemies. They don't attack. Just moving trees, that's all. but I did want to come over here because there's a really nice ring I can get. You saw the way that I grabbed that Elite Knight set and then booked it out of there. That's one thing about Dark Souls, is that running, you should never feel bad about running. It is an actual legitimate tactic. Uh-oh. We woke up this guy. Shit. These guys are tough. Not impossible. I seem to be doing okay, but... Oop, I'm gonna try to pick up this item. Oh, he cast that spell. So as you can see, I'm far enough away from him. If I get closer, yeah, it slows me down. Oh, he got me. Oh, snickerdoodles. That's okay, I can just run back there anyway. Except for this time I'm not gonna, or at least try not to wake him up so I can get rid of these stingray frogs. I'm no longer pretty, but it doesn't matter because I can wear pretty armor. Oh yeah. And I still have a mid-roll. As long as I'm not heavy rolling, I'm fine. And of course, once I get the Havel ring from Havel, I should be even, like, jolly. Even more jolly. Boop. And you can see, having heavy armor helps a lot. He just clipped through the floor. Having heavy armor helps a lot because that guy hit me with his tongue while I was in the middle of attack, and it didn't hit me out of my attack. So having heavy armor increases your poise, and then your poise stat governs if you can get staggered or not, or how much of damage it takes before you get staggered, something like that. Where's this over here? See, I can just kind of walk through these guys' attacks. Not that I want to, because I want to live. Oh, come on, man. There we go. Green Blossom. Awesome. Oh, I rhymed. Alright, now we can take this guy on. Whoop. Yeah, see? He didn't even hit me out. That's how awesome poise is, man. Poise all the way. The Elite Knight set just looks so sexy. It's not that great of an armor set either. Like, it doesn't have great resistances and stuff. And we'll find better heavy armors and stuff, and I'll try and mix and matching a little bit just so you don't get bored of seeing me run through one set. You can experience, ooh, rare drop. Stone Greatsword. You can kind of experience. Wolf Ring. That item by itself increases poise, so with the Wolf Ring, I could essentially be wearing armor that doesn't have any poise, and wear that, and then still have a little bit of poise to hit through attacks. It won't be much, but... Alright. The bonfire is that way. I jumped down from there, and this area should look familiar. Now I'm going to go into the basin. There's two interesting things about the basin. Actually, three. And I'll kind of show you after I kill this guy. There's a mini-boss down here. There's a shortcut to Firelink Shrine down this way. And there's a shortcut to Undead Burg. So there's a lot going on. I'll stop for a second and let you look out over there. You can kind of see the lake over there. get an angle so you're not looking at my head. And then you can see like Undead Berg and stuff over there, which wraps around into the chapel, or the parish, and you know that leads into here. Weird thing about this area is that it's night here and then day over there, and that might be explained in the DLC, because the whole idea behind the DLC is that Ulasilf succumbs to the abyss. So it might actually just be the lingering abyss in this area that's making it dark, or look darker. At least that's my theory, because I don't want to believe that it's night here and daytime over there, and then it magically becomes daytime when I get over there again. I don't want to believe that. If you drop down here, you can get the hunter set with the hunter's bow, longbow with feather arrow. Okay, there's kind of branching paths here. That way will take you to the lake, and then I could follow that up and go into a tower over here that has Havel in it. Or I could go this way, and there's a bonfire and a shortcut to the Valley of Drakes, and then from the Valley of Drakes, it takes us to Firelane Shrine. And I might not be able to get that to do that today, but I do want to light the bonfire down here. That matters to me. Just gotta kill this Black Knight. Wish me luck. The best strats to take on this guy, unless you're good with parries, which I'm okay, I just don't want to risk it, is to lure him up into this area so you have more space to fight him in. I am going to go for the backstabs. If you do it real well, you can actually kick him off the edge here. Oop. Messed up that parry. Oops. Dang, man. Oop. Whoop. Oh, thank God he didn't attack. I thought that would be the backstab I needed. This is. Alright. And while he's down, I can chug some Estus. Like a noob. Oh, come on, man. Don't be a dick, be a dude. That should be the last backstab we need. He always drops Blue Titanite chunks. He rarely drops his halberd, which is an amazing weapon, the Black Knight halberd. I love it, but I hardly ever get to use it because it's hard to find, and you can farm it later, but it's way later that you can farm it. Okay, this corpse is carrying what I think is one of the best shields in the game. The Grass Crest shield. Now I'll kind of show you what's going on. Old medium metal shield of unknown origin, the Grass Crest is lately imbued with magic which slightly speeds stamina recovery. So if I were to equip that, my stamina would recover more quickly, but that shield also doesn't have that great of defenses. So it doesn't block 100%, and it doesn't have, you know, that great of stability, so I can get knocked out of my blocks and stuff. It's still really good. I use it a lot in a lot of my builds, but not for this guy. I'm going to show you I'm not going to go through this next area completely. I'm going to end up turning around, but I am going to show you where this leads in and kind of point some neat things out. Whee! Okay, cool. And through here is the Valley of the Drakes. Now, the reason why I'm not going to run through here yet is because I don't want to mess with those guys. But I'll show you a couple neat things. One, that gate there leads into New Londo, or the New Londo Ruins, which is a flooded area. It has a lot of history, and I'll explain that later. But if I were to follow this path around this valley, it would lead to Fire Lake Shrine and a back way to Blighttown. So that's pretty interesting. I'll probably run through this way to get back to Fire Lake Shrine, which is where I'll be going next after... Yeah, it's after I fight Havel here. I'll head back to Firelink, because I have a few things to do in that general area. Like I said earlier, there is a mini-boss in the Darkroot Basement. I won't be fighting him now, because I need to get an item that will make the boss fight much easier. Because the boss, it's a Hydra, so it's in that lake that we saw earlier. I don't know if we can... Yeah, straight ahead, there's a lake. And the Hydra is in the water, and if we went into the water, our movement speed is severely limited. So it makes the boss a lot harder. But I know the location of a ring that makes it so that we can move freely in the water. And that helps a ton. You can kind of see some movement beyond the trees. That's the Hydra. I call him a mini-boss because he doesn't actually have a boss fog gate. So you don't have to enter an area to fight him, he's just here. And then through this gate is Havel. We use the basement, or the Watchtower basement key, which we got earlier, and you can see him, he's waiting for us to come in so he can ambush us. So we're not gonna let him. This guy is super easy to backstab because he's slow, and all of his hits just slam. You don't want to be on the receiving end of that. In fact, it might actually one-shot me if I let him. Come on, man. There we go. And because he's wearing, you know, probably the armor set that has the most defense in the entire game, my hits just kind of don't do shit. Even when I backstab, it's just such a minuscule amount of damage. It's ridiculous. There is a little bit of lore behind Havel here. He's a bishop. I know that much. He's known as Bishop Havel. But he was also a knight of Gwyn. And there's a couple theories of why he's locked up in here. One theory is that Gwyn put him here, and this is kind of, I agree with this. Gwyn put him here because Havel just hated Seath so much, and you know, they just separated the two, and I think Gwyn wanted Havel to be a leader for him on this side of Lord's Ren, away from Seath. Havel is hugely anti-magic, so he hated Seath, and I'll try to find some text that kind of shows that being true. Let's look at this. This ring was named after Havel the Rock, Lord Gwyn's old battlefield compatriot. Havel's men wore the rings to express faith in their leader and to carry heavier load. So what we're going to do... Oh, we don't have any rings, so we'll equip both that. And with that equipped, I still mid-roll. Let me see. Still. Holy moly, let's take my pants off. There we go. So let's wear my helmet and gloves and see if I can fast roll. Okay, one of these things is overdoing it. But that's okay. Let's see if that helps. Nah, whatever. I'll just rock this for now. I'm alright with that. I don't want to take armor pieces off just so I can fast roll because I want to look good. Know what I'm saying? Actually, I will show you one thing that's pretty neat. This, if you go up this tower, it leads back to the Undead Burg. So we'll do that right now. In fact, forget what I was talking about, the Valley of the Drakes before. I'm just going to use this way to get back to Firelink Shrine. And then from there we'll do some cool stuff. And then, voila. We're back in Undead Burg. This is where the fire barrel flew down the steps, so we're now behind everyone. Reckon these guys. Best recognized, Black Knight was down there. And it's magically daylight again. Isn't that cool? Isn't that neat? Isn't that just the neatest? I have to stop and think for a second of where we're gonna head next. I'm gonna end the episode soon, but I think next time we should be going to Lower Undead Burg. So I'm going to end it. I'm still going to end it at Firelink Shrine, but we'll be coming back through this area to get to Lower Undead Burg. The second episode that I uploaded with the footage that I lost, I forgot to mention that I picked up a key. There we go. Where is it? Basement key. Opens door leading to Lower Undead Burg. Treacherous place. Do not turn your back to the wily thieves or wild dogs who serve the Capper Demon. So we know that there's a demon down there thanks to that key. And... yeah. I picked that up in the second episode, and I forgot to tell you where. It was behind that gate that would come down, and I showed you how to run through there and open the gate. Do some sipping. Once we get back to Firelink Shrine here, I'm going to show you two things. I'm going to show you Lautrec, who should be back here, and tell you a little bit about him. And we're going to upgrade the Estus Flask, and I'll show you how that's done. Bam! Coming for you. There you go. Now I'm just flying through these guys. Ain't no thing. Ain't no thing but a chicken wang. Chicken wang. Oh yeah. I did forget. There is an item over there. I'm not going to worry about it right now. I think it's a Ring of Sacrifice. I don't ever use them. But later there's going to be an NPC who's going to park his Tukus over there. And we are going to go talk to him. So I'll go over there eventually. So here's Lautrec. Before I talk to him, I'm going to upgrade Estus Flask. We got the Firekeeper here. She doesn't speak. So we're just going to use the Firekeeper soul, and she's going to upgrade our Estus Flask. So it says Estus Flask plus 1 at the bottom of the screen. This guy, if we're going to talk to him.
Hello there. I have your reward.
Please accept it. Sunlight Medal. So it makes us wonder, where did he get the Sunlight Medal? Is he a Sunbro, or did he summon a Sunbro and kill him, or I don't know.
I am grateful to you for freeing me. Not enough for you? Well, let's not be greedy now.
I think if we keep talking to him, he talks about humanity.
By the Lords. Your humanity is really slipping. Now, who do you imagine will make the best use of it?
So, he's talking about the NPCs surrounding the area, especially Anastasia here. She has a Firekeeper soul, and Firekeeper souls can be used to gain tons of humanity, or they can be used to upgrade Estus Flask. Lautrec, being a greedy mofo that he is, wants humanity for himself. Humanity is important because it's what keeps people from going hollow. So, all these undead, like this guy's undead, but he's not hollow yet. And then Lautrec is collecting all this humanity for himself. So if we were to let him live, and I'll show you how to kill him real easily. If we let him live, once we ring the second bell of awakening, he's gonna straight up murder this bitch over here. And then if he kills her, we can't use the bonfire, which is a huge inconvenience. If he kills her, we can get her armor set. She actually has a pretty decent armor set, which is the Dingy Robe set, and is used basically for its resistances, has really great resistances. But for this playthrough, I don't really care for it. I'm not going to use it, so I don't want him to kill her. Now, if we were to play this the right way, or quote-unquote the right way, because there's no real right way to play this, let him kill her. We would then find him again in Orlando, and then we can fight him there, and then get back her soul, bring it back, and bring her back to life. So that's how you would do that, and then you would get his armor set. I don't want his armor set. I don't want her dying. I don't really care. It's not important to me. So I'm gonna do this. See that it didn't aggro him. He's upright, but he's not like all pissed off. So I'm gonna give him one more kick. And if I were to quit the game and reload, the item that he has would be on the ground here. And I'll show you what that is next time. Anyway, folks, I'm going to cut things off here. I'm going to rest at the bonfire and say some last words. If you like what I'm doing, make sure to give me a like, comment, subscribe, do what you need to do. I like making these videos, and I like talking about the different tips and tricks and lore I got going on and things I've noticed. So, let's see you next time. Later, bras.